Hey guys, how's it going? So in the last video we looked at farming nano spores in our little solar farm that we had going. And I quickly mentioned how you could possibly farm nano spores as a whole squad. And then someone reminded me in the comments, quite rightly so, because I completely forgot that the Pilfering Swarm on Hydroid no longer stacks with Necros' Desecrate. That was fixed a while back now. So we have a different squad setup to what I said last episode. And what I want to do in this episode is just run through the frame setup for that. And then I'm going to show you a clip of that in action. And then after that, we're going to look at Polymer Bundle Farm. I don't have a solo Polymer Bundle Farm in this. It's much more viable to farm Polymer Bundles in a squad. There's a few reasons for that, but I'm not going to get into them too much. I'm just going to show you a clip of the squad farm and how you can sort of maximize your output. So what I do want to say, unlike the limbo farm for nano spores that I showed in the last episode, it is important for these two farms that someone in your squad has a resource drop chance booster. That's going to really increase the output rate of whatever resource you're farming, be it nano spores or polymer bundles. So do make sure someone has that on. So like I said, the first clip we're going to look at here is going to be the squad nano spore farm. And I'm going to run through the setup for that squad here. So our first frame that we need is Nova, specifically a Speed Nova. This is my Speed Nova build. In a Speed Nova, you want max duration with as little strength as possible. Running power donation, obviously, because then there's even less ability strength. And in order to get down there, obviously, we need to put overextended on. We don't want to build for range, but in order to get down to that low ability strength, we need overextended on. And then everything else, we just got a bit of efficiency here. And then duration, extra health, just for sustain. More duration, and prime flow, just for that extra energy. This slot's sort of whatever you please kind of slot. And you can put on whatever arcanes you want. I'd probably recommend having an energize on if you have one at hand. But it's not too important. Then the second frame that we want is going to be Cora. So for Cora, we're going to be running a Pilfering Strangledome build. So enemies held in Strangledome have a 65% chance for dropping additional loot. Now, the reason we're running Cora instead of Hydroid now is, like I said before, the Pilfering Swarm Hydroid doesn't stack with Necros, and I'm not sure this does either. However, you're more likely, if you don't get that 65% chance from dropping additional loot on the Strangledome, the Necros will pick up any additional bodies that drop from that. So you cover most of it anyway, just with the Cora and Necros. Also, Cora, something the Hydroid can't do is he can't put down 2 of his 4th ability. He can only have 1 going at a time. And Cora can put down 2 Strangledomes, 1 on each side of the defense point, as you'll see when we go into the mission. She'll have 1 Strangledome up on one side and 1 on the other, just so she can cover all positions. So we're just building this for a bit of range. We don't need too much. Efficiency, again, duration. Efficiency or duration, I'd say. You could put Fleeting Expertise and just recast it. But this build should be fine. You could probably go for a bit more strength if you really wanted to, but as you'll see in a sec, we're going to be running a Rhino as our last... a Rhino and a Necros. So our Rhino build is as follows.
Well put together, operator. Now get out there.
So we want max power strength and max power duration. This is going to be for buffing the Cora, so she can do more damage with her Strangledome. So yeah, maxing out that power strength. Unfortunately, we can't have this extra slot unless you're using Umbral Formers on your Rhino. just because I wanted that maximum Umbral Intensify here. But yeah, this is the build I'm going to run. You could ideally change this over to Corrosive Projection as well. Although, if you do that, you're going to have to remove another mod, just simply because you won't have enough slots for the 2 Umbral mods, unless you have an Umbral Former there. So that's what I'm going to be using for my buff. And lastly, in our squad for Nano Spores, we're going to be using our Necros on our Despoil build, obviously the Augment for Desecrate, and that's just going to be ranged efficiency, not too much going into this build really, and then obviously whatever arcanes you want. If you're using Despoil, might be worth putting Pulse on there, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference, to be honest, especially if you have max efficiency. Strength doesn't play any part at all, and yeah, like I said, just a bit of range should be fine. So yeah, that's the 4 that we're going to be using for the Nano Spore farm. And for the Polymer Bundle farm, we're going to be using Cora and Necros. So you've already seen those 2 builds, but alongside those, we are also going to be using an Avara. She's going to be used for loot stealing. Best way to do this is to put on max duration. Bit of efficiency here. I have formed my Avara for hunting Eidolons, so it's not ideal for this build. You can see I've had to put in just a slightly reduced streamline here because a max one won't fit the build. And make sure your strength is at 100%. You can reduce your strength down to 70%, providing that one of your teammates is running a power donation. That'll push it back up to 100%. And the reason we want it at 100% is because in Prowl, you can see that the extra loot we get is 100% there. So we want to make sure that it's 100%. It can't go higher than 100%, so there's no point in having a higher power strength. And then you want an alright range on it, just so that when enemies are coming past you, you're able to pickpocket them. And yeah, so that's our Avara build. And lastly, we're going to be using a Loki. So this is our Loki build. Max range, max efficiency, and a bit of duration here. We're building for disarm. It's important that you don't put on irradiating disarm here because it will slow down enemies. Obviously, we're going to be on Ophelia on Uranus. So it's important that... Well, we're going against Grineer, so the disarm is going to remove their weapons and they're just going to come charging towards us. The reason a Speed Nova isn't as good in this situation is because although a Speed Nova actually makes them move towards you faster, they will stop outside of the range of Strangledome and they will shoot at you without coming into range. So it's important that we get rid of their weapons so that they come up close to us. And this Loki provides a constant stream of Grineer, and we don't have to worry about it past that really. So that's our build for Loki. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the first clip, which is the Nano Spore farm, and then after that we will jump straight into the Polymer Bundle farm. So yeah, we'll get into those now. Alright guys, so we are just starting off here on Auric and Derelict Defense. And our Speed Nova, obviously just hitting our 4th every now and then, speeding everything up. Right now our Cora is only using 1 Strangledome in the center, but you'll see in a sec she splits to 2 on the second round here. My job as Necros is to just basically stand here and run around in a circle to pick up all the loot with my 3 turned on. And yeah, basically all the infestors just run in, they die on the Strangledome. They either get the loot drop from the Strangledome or the loot drop from my Desecrate, either one. And unfortunately in this run, we did forget to put on a resource drop chance booster. Like I said, it is very important. It will increase your drops by a really quite high amount. So make sure you do have that on. But yeah, for the Nano Spawn farm, this is what we're really doing. The Rhino just buffs the Cora puts down her 2 Strangledomes. The Nova uses her 4th every now and then, just to make sure all the infested just run to the center. And the Necros obviously just runs around in a circle. Happy days. So we're going to move on to the Polymer Bundle farm now. And we are on Ophelia on Uranus, which is a survival mission. And what we're doing here is we're just running around looking for a really good spot, trying not to fall into water, as I just did. And so our team split up a bit. We're looking for a really nice spot to farm. A good spot to farm is going to be anywhere that's just got a really nice open room, lots of spawn areas for the Grineer, and a nice dead end that we can camp in and lure all of the Grineer to us. The specific room we're looking for in this case is the snow room. You'll know it when you see it. My teammates just found it over there. So we're all going to head over and set up. It takes us a while to set up efficiently, but we do get there. So I'll let you know when we're at that point. But this is the snow room right here, or the top of it. You notice to the left it's very icy. It's just a cold room. That's what you're looking for. And there's this dead end here in this corner that we've got. So massive open room, loads of spawn points, and a nice dead end. That's what we're looking for. So right now the core has set up her Strangledomes in a slightly strange position. We're going to move them back into the corner in a second. And what we're going to do is the Loki is going to, again, use his 4th every now and then. And he's going to remove all the Grineer weapons and they're going to run towards us. And as you can see now, we've got Grineer just constantly running in on us. Just dying, dropping all their loot. And if you look closely, you'll see the Avara is sat in that corner over there. She's covering both entrances to this sort of dead end that we've got, and any Grineer that walk past, she is able to pickpocket them so that they drop additional loot. And that's all she's going to do, basically. She's going to sit there this whole time, making sure to move every now and then, just so she doesn't get an AFK timeout, and to make sure that she picks up all the loot. But as you can see, we're picking up a fair few pollen bundles here. And yeah, that's basically the farm. Not really much more to say about it. It's important to make sure, as Cora, I will say that your Venari is on heal. But yeah, that's about it. So I hope you guys got some idea of what was going on there. Bit scruffy in those 2 runs, but the basic idea of how to do it was there. So if you have any other questions about it or what to do, please ask me in the comments. We're more than happy to reply. If you have any other suggestions for farming, I'm all ears, always looking for new things to do. So do let me know if you do have any other farming tips. I'd be happy to try them out. But yeah, I think that's probably it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.